Hello people of the web, and welcome back to another episode of my Let's Play series. This is the Vanilla High server, but not as we know it. Earlier today the server was updated to 1.14, the Village and Pillage update. And if you're sitting there thinking, but that update was released a couple weeks ago, you're right, but actually I'm coming from the past as I'm ahead of schedule on my recordings. The update only went out yesterday for me. Having spoken to the admins over the last few weeks, it was obvious that they were well ahead of schedule for the prep work, but not very optimistic about the stability of the release. Mostly because past releases have been rather flawed. And since the update there's been several server crashes, and as you can see from me walking around, a bit of rubber banding. Now, with the frequency of the crashes, I'm sure that rolling back the server to a very stable 1.13.2 has to be a consideration for the server staff, and so I'm reluctant to start anything significant. With the update, I found my guardian farm was broken. The lava blades that were being used to soften up the guardians was actually causing an issue. The guardians were falling into the lava and seemed to be swimming up towards the surface, which stopped other guardians falling in and created a bottleneck. Within just a few minutes, I had my entity count climb well over 700. And as a temporary solution, I've now removed the lava. This does reduce the XP rate of the farm slightly, but without doing so would have no XP or drops. This might be a temporary issue, or it might be something that requires a redesign. I'm hoping it's the former and not the latter. Another thing that concerns me was actually mentioned in the comment section on a recent video when I finished building the storage area. I won't go that way, I'll go this way. Now, you may remember that I changed the bottom layer of the storage area to smooth quartz. This is because regular quartz used to have a cloudy texture on the bottom, and smooth quartz offered the outline texture on all 6 sides. Now, with the 1.14 texture update, they've changed things on its head, and the smooth quartz now has this cloudy texture on all 6 sides, and regular quartz blocks now has an outline to it on all 6 sides. Which means this bottom layer of the storage area needs to be ripped out and replaced with regular quartz blocks. Which I have to say I'm not looking forward to, seeing as it took me so long to do that last time, and I've got to do it again, and then of course all the redstone on the inside needs to be replaced too. That might take me a little while to do. And on top of that, I have the same problem with the mob farm, which also has smooth quartz on the bottom of it. Yeah, really not looking forward to these jobs. With all updates, there'll be some features that you hate and some things you love. Now, the smooth quartz is something that I absolutely hate, just because of the amount of effort it's going to need to fix. On the other hand, I am a huge fan of this new glass texture. By removing that big streak in the middle that used to be there, it makes it so much clearer to see through. And with the sky base up here and stuff below to have a look at, yep, I'm a big fan of this. Another feature that shows off that clear glass texture is the aquarium that we finished in the last video. Without that streak, you're going to see so much better inside. And then I can pick out the individual fishes and see where my favourite one is. Speaking of the aquarium, I see that Hushbug has used sea pickles in here, which goes towards me justifying building that ridiculous sea pickle farm. I mean, the amount of sea pickles it outputs per minute would be enough to last most people a lifetime. But it's good fun to build it, and it got used. Hushbug and I were talking about what fish to put in the aquarium, and I made the suggestion of potentially putting a drowned in there. And then she asked how we get a drowned. So the first thing I thought of was we have a mob farm, putting a pool of water at the bottom so that when mobs drop out, we kill everything but the zombie, and then get him to move to the guardian farm, which should be as simple as leading him through that portal, through the nether, to down there. Oh, name tag, that'd be a good idea. I'll go grab one. Oh, the lag's... Oh, yep, lag's bad. That one. I know it says Zach's Creeper, but they all do. We can rename them later. I'll keep you informed of how well this goes, if it works at all. We've been sitting here for what feels like far too long, and I've just remembered that a watched kettle never boils. Don't look at it, ignore it, then things will spawn, and we'll know about it when a zombie probably walks in here and kills me. Restart notice, I haven't got much time. Look what spawned. Named Crit. Where's the source block? It'll be... Nope, that one. If I break that, any mobs coming down will die, except for our little friend. No, 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 no! Why was he burning? In theory, he should be safe there. And he's not in the way of the other mobs dropping. I still have no idea why his head would catch fire when there's no direct sunlight. Today is a brand new day, and my task is to move my little friend from in here, ouch, my unfriendly friend, from in here down to the guardian farm. Now the first thing I need to do is heal him up, because I still don't know why he was burning with no direct sunlight, and I don't want to take any more damage. But just in case, we want to make sure he's healed up. Now, we used to have a brewing stand set up downstairs on the island, and I removed it to tidy things up and never replaced it. I need to make a potion for him. So I'm going to make 3. It's been a long time since I had to brew up something to heal a zombie, and so I had to look it up. Hopefully this is the right potion. If I remember correctly, potion of healing for zombies does damage and harming helps them. If not, we might have to get a new zombie. Let's find out. Well, that hurt me. And 1 for luck. It should be him at full health. And it's night time. So, just need to grab the other supplies, which would be something to store him in. I want a boat, and we have one in here. This should go smoothly. Probably. Hello! Ouch! Up the stairs. Oh, I just thought of something. He might struggle with the slabs. Especially as zombie pigmen always get to this point and then go, Oh, he seems okay. But not on the slabs. Oh no, look at... Oh. I need some blocks to path. Out. Lag. Excuse me. Ouch. Look up. Where are you going? I'm here. Right. 1, 2, 3. They should pathfind over those. And then we just back it on up. And that's him in the nether. I will rip this out, otherwise I'll forget about it for a couple of days, and then I'll come back here and wonder why on earth there's prismarine. This is going to hurt. Oh. Okay. He went straight over there. We want to go this way. Come on. Okay. 2 for the price of 1. So, now there should be 2 zombies. I'm not going to go through that portal. Because I don't want to bump straight into him. So I should go the long way round. I say long way round, it's not a huge delay for me. Because all I have to do is jump off here and hope that the world loads. There it is. Yeah, the world loading hasn't been wonderful since 1.14. And there's our little friend. Somehow underneath the portal. There. Sorted. Ouch. 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 We do have regen here, so my health will go up anyway, even if I'm eating raw cod for some reason. If I go stick him over there, I'm sure Hushbug will then figure out what he's for. And yes, I could probably break the boat and let him walk over there, but meh, where's the fun in that? I have a land boat, as Scar would say. While we could convert him now, it's probably best left in a boat until Hushbug gives me the go-ahead, because she might want to do more stuff in here, and the last thing she'll want is to have to worry about shutting the door and being attacked by a drowned. Job done. It's now the weekend just after the update to 1.14. Now, the server's still quite laggy, and render distance isn't particularly wonderful. As you can see, but we're relatively stable, and I think now's about time to replace those quartz on the bottom of the mob farm. I don't know if I'll get round to the storage area this week, just because of the amount of redstone that needs to be redone, and it's quite a commitment, so I don't want to do half of it. I can assure you it took me quite a while to do this, but it's all updated now, and it looks so much better back in the way it used to look before the update. What a palaver. I realised there was a lot of messing around with that zombie, and I hope it wasn't too unbearable for you. Now I'm going to try and do something sensible, which is fix one of my villager breeders, namely the one that I've been using as my witch farm. Now, with the lag being as bad as it currently is, especially on a Sunday when there's loads of people online, I'm not going to fly like I normally do. I'm going to use the nether, which is a bit of a shame because I do enjoy my flying. Now, our villager breeder is right next to the giant sheep, and this tunnel goes to him. His name's Kashmir, in case you haven't been following the series. While we're on the subject of the wool farm, there are some upgrades that I will want to do to this place at some point. In the 1.14 update, dispensers can now use shears, so there's no need for me to stand AFK with my right click held here. I just need to do a few alterations to have dispensers to do it for me. And we are missing quite a lot of sheep, or they're just all clumped up together. I can breed the numbers up, although it makes sense to do that after I do the modifications, which is not today, because today I'm going this way. There we go, the villager breeder. Oh. Interesting visual glitch. If my understanding of the update is correct, we can just change this slightly and it should, in theory, still work without a major redesign. The main thing I want to do though is change it from being 2 villagers in there to being 4. So I need to try and push these guys in the hole. Oh, you'll do. You'll do. I'm just going to wait around here for a minute until one comes nearby, because if I push one from that corner, he'll probably get to about here and then walk off. So I'll sit here ready to pounce. I've lowered one villager down, and then there's one baby villager there who is not behaving as I would expect, because normally they used to see the pigman and run away if they were babies. This has me very concerned because it means that this mechanic might not work anymore. Because if he's not scared of the pigman and doesn't run away, he'll stay in there forever. He has lowered himself down into the water, but not I don't think it was because he was scared. We now have 4 villagers in here, which currently don't have professions. So, in theory, I think if I change that block to just be a regular dirt block. Oop, that's granite. Regular dirt block. I can then place a composter there. And hopefully one of these will pick it as their station. I was looking around here to see why they hadn't assigned themselves to those stations. Then I looked up and realised that, yeah, maybe I should have killed those guys first. Now, to get out of here, the sensible thing would be to fly. Like so. Whee! Will they now grab these stations? I don't know. Let's try replanting them. Aha! Ah. They're going to break crops, aren't they? Because they try and climb in there, and then they break the crop. The breeders no longer need doors, however they do need beds. So I brought some beds with me. 1, 2. I think I'm going to use 8, probably. I need at least 6. So I might as well go for 8, because it's a nice round number. My upgrades to the villager breeder seem to have worked, because we now have 2 children running around. However, there is a couple downsides. One of which is that previously in Minecraft, villagers would run away from pigmen. And this doesn't seem to be the case anymore. All children used to sit, of course, at 1 block high, and their eye level means that they can then see the pigman. What happens now is they just loiter around, doing nothing. They don't seem to care about the pigman. Oh, and another problem is that these villagers keep trying to get into these composters and then break the crops. So that also needs fixing. I'm making my alterations and I'm hoping this will work. Unfortunately, one of the farmers did fall out and end up here, so he might get pushed back down, or I might just kill him and he'll get replaced in time with a new one. Oh, go on, don't look at me like that. Crunch. I've now cleared all of the water out and tidied up the walls slightly. Apart from that block. How did I miss that? What's supposed to go above that? Okay, sandstone. So the baby villagers should run across where these trapdoors are and fall down here. We just need to funnel them into a water stream to push them away from here. If they stay within range of those beds, we'll stop having new babies as soon as we reach 8 villagers. Now, the sensible place would be to do it in the middle. However, that's where my pigman's currently stored. So we need to go at least 2 blocks further down? 3 blocks further down. That's 1 drop chute done. Just need to add some water. There. 1 down, 3 to go. Now, I've done 2 and a bit sides, and I've run out of prismarine. I have to say, I'm quite glad that Hushbug chose prismarine for this build, because we have plenty of it. Although, unfortunately, it's not in my inventory. All 4 channels are now nicely decorated, and I just need to dig a deep hole, which shouldn't be too difficult. Now, one of the main reasons why the villager breeder is out there on an island in pretty much the middle of nowhere is because it's next to my giant sheep, which is where my wool farm is. The idea is that when I'm at the wool farm, the villager breeder is loaded. So it only kind of makes sense that the output for the villager breeder ends up maybe down in the sheep farm. Should be down here. Back at the breeder, and I have good news. If we drop down here, actually let's move that. We have a long tunnel that goes all the way to the the sheep farm. So all I have to do is light up this tunnel and put some water streams in. And it'll push all the villagers down to a new room that I'm going to build. And conveniently for me, the new room can have a door to it that's in the middle of the hallway, which I wasn't expecting. When I came in here, I was thinking that the spider farm goes over to about here. It doesn't. This is the wall. So behind here is cave spider spawner, which means I just need to reline this wall and I can build a room in here. It's nice when things work out. Between doing other tasks today, I've been a little bit busy over here, and I've started what will be a paper silo. I'll have the roof going up so that I've got plenty of chests and indicator lights. Now the plan is that all the villagers that come out of the breeder will come down here, and as soon as they're in range of these lecterns, they'll decide to be librarians. In which case I can then trade with them and earn my emeralds and occasionally buy some books. Now, I have left the breeder with just 8 beds, and unfortunately there's 6 villagers over there and 2 over here, which is 8 villagers. So obviously these villagers haven't detached themselves from the village over there, which could be a problem because it limits how many villagers we can have. So I could move them further away and hope that they detach, or I could up the beds to 16, which is what I'm planning on doing, and then we'll have 4 in the farm and then 12 down here. I just noticed that we have a detached sheep head floating over there. Rendering distance has been a little bit funky since 1.14. Now, 8 beds, 4 villagers up here, and 2 that I haven't got rid of from around here. So I need to kill these, and then in theory 2 more should breed down there and go into the water streams. Anyway, I'm going to get 8 more beds and copy what's on this side onto this side. Ta-da! We now have 16 beds. And a new villager spawned while I was working on it and went down the hole, which means I'll have another librarian to trade with. I also accidentally leaked some water on here, so these need replanting. Come on, chop chop! I think the next thing to do would be sort out this silo, which means I need to dig this ceiling out, and I have a funny feeling there's some water above it. Another bonus of working in here is the string farm is just beyond this wall, which means while I'm working in this room, the chests are filling up. Now that's a reassuring sight. After adding plenty of paper to the silo, there's still lots of room left. Now, this week's video is a bit longer than normal, so I'm going to call it here. We have a working villager breeder again, and I've learned a bit about the 1.14 mechanics. Although I suspect I have plenty left to discover. I really would appreciate it if you could leave a like and consider subscribing if you haven't already. I love to hear your thoughts and feedback in the comments section. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye now.